Good day. Greetings. That's a more neutral one. Oops, I've touched the screen and a little. Doesn't matter, everyone, you're seeing black if somebody's there. I'm just. Okay, so I'm making a video, audio recording thing here. What the heck? Oh, here we go. There we go. Where is it? There we go. So I'm looking for some screenshots. I took some screenshots on another device of a conversation. Someone was just speaking to me, saying some things to me. There we go. There's the other one. There we go. So someone wrote a rather long comment to me as a reply. The comment was written according to my screenshot 6 hours ago, and I took that screenshot within the last half hour. So 6 or 7 hours ago, someone replied to me. The person, the name is, let me see, it's tiny print here, large screen. Julian Redimido. Julian Redimido. There's I'm one of those marks. My brain is slowing down. The mark above the A, Julian. No disrespect. I'm just trying to see and pronounce the name properly. It's some person. I don't know who they are. I made some comment on a YouTube video. So the point is I'm currently making this recording because as a reply. The comment's kind of long and large, and that's not necessarily a big deal. There's a couple of things mentioned in the comment which they require me to type or maybe explain something in a little more depth. However, I'm standing up there. I'm really tired. I've been up, let me see. It's 0515 hours, so it's 5:15 in the morning. And I woke up yesterday around 6 o'clock in the morning, and then I took a nap maybe for 2 hours in the early morning brunch hours, I guess. And then I've been doing some physical things and some mental things, and it's, I'm tired. Kind of falling asleep a little, standing up, walking around, slowing down, and starting to fumble on my words and things. And so I could be typing the comment right now, but the device, I would have to. One device types better than the other. See, I'm tired, and I'm just underthinking and overthinking. Basically, I'm kind of lazy. Maybe I'll go record this, play it back, and type it out. But I was thinking, instead of just typing some message, I can maybe type a message after I make this video and try to upload it really quickly. If I go fast, it won't take me long to upload it, one would hope. And then I can communicate to the person in the message that I've replied to them. Oh, see, I'm tired, and this is taking 3 minutes just to say 4 minutes. If I could make a message, and then tell you that there's a video, the newest video on my channel is the reply to your message. So, what did I just read? It says, hello, PsyOps agent. I'm just looking at the way it's spelled. It's nice, I like it. That's how it kind of is, whatever. I think they used a zero too, did they? That's good. If they used a zero, that's good. PSY 0 PS. Anyways, okay. I'm not going to maybe read the whole comment. I'm just going to refresh myself here. I read it half an hour ago. I was pondering if I'd come out of the shadows, but your comment made me. Well, thank you. So I'll share my 2 cents on the situation. Keep in mind, I hate any kind of drama, and although someone, they say, has accidentally made a lot of damage to me, I alchemized it back in the day and kind of thankful for it now. And I wouldn't want to go through it again, never again. Okay, thank you. Thank you for sharing this entire message with me. And also, thank you for kicking off the concept of alchemizing things in so many different ways that can be done. Huh? Yeah, thank you. Ergo, I haven't watched any more of someone's videos since 2021. Most of the conspiracies are perpetrated and generated by the community themselves, in my opinion. Very wise. Yeah, also by the possibility, let's just consider that there's some manipulators and bad guys and fraudsters and snake oil salesmen and just whatever. Doesn't have to be an organized conspiracy of any kind, but there's just criminals and bad guys all over the place. Oh, wow. Did that really happen? Anyways. So, see, I'm tired now, I forget. Oh yeah, so there are people that are actually trying to generate purposeful distractions to keep people away from maybe certain information or figuring other things out, which is strange because, like I was saying in my other message, I have a bunch of different puzzle pieces, or sometimes I call them golden fleeces, and I should work on a routine to make that rhyme, that little poem or something. But I was just doing some research tonight. Something triggered me to look into something else, and then that made me think about something completely different. And then I flip something around to try and see if I could find a different angle. Then I start looking in another place, and then a mother load of information just flowed in. Has to do with crocodile. I already knew some of these things, but I was looking for backup references and bibliography sources, and trying to find any not purposeful, not like my finding connections, but any looking through things and seeing if any connections are made kind of on their own. So I was looking up crocodile fat and the mesa and the Mechaic, I believe. I'm half on my pronunciations here. And the pharaoh and the anointing of the pharaoh and things like this. But whatever. But it led to a whole bunch of other stuff, which was really telling. And I use that word. It's a bit of a throwing it back at someone. So, anyways, I'm going on longer than I kind of anticipated here. So as I imagine seeing and trying to type out things. What I was going to do is to basically, let me scroll through the message here. There's one point in the message you made this is where I decided I wasn't just going to type a normal message or say something, because there's a little more to this. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, fourth paragraph, last sentence. The reason that I'm sharing says, my point of view is that somebody, whatever, don't mention the person's name, may not be malevolent, nor an alphabet agency guy, though, of course, I could never be 100% certain. That's true, but you can, by the nature of my name and the studies and trying to doing things out, I've educated and become a little more proficient at being able to discern. And I had, maybe when I started, I might have had a 60-40%, but now I'm up to like 90%, I can be certain. And then if I'm 90% certain, some of that is maybe 75%, but another 15% of that is a little play area that there's a couple questions that will seal the deal that I might not have answers to. But for the most part, I can see and hear now. Sometimes it's really difficult because there's some real smooth talkers out there using trippy logical arguments. And what's it called? It's called Brandolini's Law, where a simple concept someone proposes takes basically it's not to be swearing or things like that, but basically it takes orders of magnitude more to cancel or neutralize the bullshit and the smell of some stink and fraud or lie or misleading that someone creates. So for every shovel of bullshit that someone gives, it takes like 100 shovels worth of work to get rid of it. Because you're left with the stink, the stain, the thing. There's all kinds of who knows, right? There's all whatever excuses. The point is, somebody says something, really simple in a short sentence, it might, let me just count out here. I'm not going to say the sentence. So 12 words in a sentence, and it takes 2 pages, or at least a page and a half, to counter the bull crap argument that someone made. So, anyways, okay. But the reason I suspect that this person is not, as they mentioned, is that they went through a deep rabbit hole themselves in 2021, and they had to drop with someone's videos because their mind couldn't take that much at the time, especially with all the anxiety given that you can imagine upon those times. The reason I'm sharing that is because, as Nietzsche said, stare into the abyss, or he put, stare too long at the abyss, and eventually the abyss shall stare back at you. All right, then it goes on to the next. Now here's where I kick in my 2 cents, or here's where my 2 cents really kick in. I figured this out from listening to Levet, he says, and reading Blavatsky. I'm familiar, but I try to skim instead of deeply study that stuff. I have a different interpretation of some of their stuff, research, whatever, claims, all that, because I'm an aged, little bit primate, not really giving some away. I'm in my mid-50s, apparently. And so I used to do a Rosicrucian mail order course when I was like 12. And I listened to some guy, I don't even want to say the names really, but I don't want to give power to their names, and I don't want to talk about it because I don't like to remember some aspects of it. Not in a bad way, just because it's useless to me now, and I kind of threw away some stuff, I guess. I look at it. So anyways, there was a guy, Manly P. Hall. Didn't want to say his name. Fuck off, Manly. Asshole. Because he wrote some nice stuff, but it's bullshit. Like, I listened to hours and hours of it, or whatever, or read hours and hours of it when I was a kid. And I came to the understanding and the interpretation that he was talking about allegory, or he was talking about astronomy and allegory. I jumped the gun there. I'm tired of my Freudian jump slip. I was thinking about the Biblios Heliotech, the biblical reference to Joshua, Yeshua, Yahoo, whatever, saying, I speak in allegory for ears that hear and eyes that see. If you were to Google the term Biblios Heliotech, you will see that it's a Latinized version, something like that, of an allegorical book on the movements of the sun. Some more occult things that I've studied, I got some more information on that. Okay, there's a 72 archangels of light, there's the 108 different things for the cycles of the moon, and the 108 Tai Chi moves, and Wu style Tai Chi Chuan, maybe even another style of Tai Chi. There's 108 rosary beads. Oh, of course, connection. Oh, you're just making stuff up. But I'm just talking about some other stuff, but I'm using that to throw it in. This is, what I'm doing right now is bait. This is bait for the bad guy trolls or the spies and stuff. They listen to me and then, oh yeah? Correlation does not equal causation. If they come back like that, then I know whatever. Anyways, I'm not doing it on purpose. It's just I'm trying to share some information with you. There's all kinds of other stuff, all kinds of other people that I've heard. There was another guy, Bill, I'm not trying to, Donahue, I listened to for a while. Where did you get your information, Bill? Where's the, where, that's what I meant. There's like a bunch of people, and he was one of them too. Bill, where'd you get your information, guy? Where do you get this stuff from? Can I get the book? Why do I gotta pay you, to, get the information that you're getting from somewhere when I can go get it from somewhere else all at once? Maybe in the book that you're using. You're trying to be a guru, trying to be something. Maybe you're somebody, one of those other agent types, because that's my whole gig, is I'm the real deal, I suppose. It just started out as a fluke, but then people started thinking I was one and sending me stuff, and that wasn't really the initial premise of my channel. I happened to be a former soldier, and I thought, even just in life, the internet's not a safe place. It was the old West and a digitalized version of the world. You can't trust anybody in the world. And if you do, you got to give people the benefit of the doubt, but, you travel around, seriously, you can't be trusting. You'll be of anything and everything. Whatever. Okay, so I'm sorry. I'm all over the place here. I just changed everything and sat down, and I'm trying to think about getting a drink. Okay, so anyways, all kinds of stuff. I'm scanning through your words here. I'm seeing uninitiated wizard and then 1 in 1,000. Um, well, yeah, so there you go. Unhinged or unrestricted power they wield. Okay, so with that and jumping back to what you said, if you stare too long in the abyss stares back. I am aware of what you say there, and I thank you for trying to tell me that and telling me that. And I thank you. I'm not trying to disparage it or dismiss it or to treat it with any type of disrespect when I say that even before that you have shared this with me, that I have known that and seen that, and I have thought the same thing that you are saying to me right now um, at another time in the past a little bit. And so my understanding or conclusion of that when I look at these things. So now jumping to when you say the unrestricted and unhinged power. Okay, so I'm not trying to be silly. I'm being serious. There's a serious moral to the story and a lesson in things sometimes. And so in the regards for unhinged or unrestricted power, there's a phrase, excuse me, I got some kind of, it's because I'm drinking the cold coffee. It's making me unhappy. That's why I want to refresh with the hot coffee. So, the saying I'm sure you're familiar with is absolute power corrupts absolutely. So, you got to make sure. So, unit, return to base. You got to have a solid foundation. I also listened to a show called Kung Fu when I was a kid. Master Po, Master Khan. I listened to the words and read Jesus when I was a kid. I really cared and I really wanted to learn. I really was interested. So, I wanted to, wow, this is some profound info from the Kung Fu guy. And he's got some skills. And just do some stretching and some Tai Chi. And who knows, right? Anyways, learn like Yoda knowledge. Do or do not. There is no try. And all that. And also, hey, beware of the dark side. It's very enticing, eh? Oh, yeah. They will, the proverbial devil, he will offer you the world for your soul, right? Yeah. So you got, I know what you're saying, and so then on the secondary part there, absolute power corrupts absolutely, and so if you get some kind of absolute power, now I'm thinking of the scene Spock's brother and Captain Kirk. What does God need with the starship? So I got an attitude like that, and I like it, but the guy that's pretending to be a god doesn't like it when I show up going, excuse me, what does God need with the starship? And then, like Spock's brother or whatever, come here. I sense your pain. Let me hug you, brother. And like, see ya. Did the old Neo into Agent Smith there, I think. So that so in order to also, I'm gonna reference Spider-Man. I read some Spider-Man comic books when I was younger. A big kind of hero of mine, I suppose, role model in a sense. And the lesson from Uncle Ben was extremely important. I had something happen to me maybe that reminded me of the situation with Uncle Ben, and somebody tell you something, and that's their last lesson that they were able to get out to you before they died. And so, and the guy, whatever, it's a comic book, whatever, but they made it a movie now. You can, go along with it, pretend to get all upset or enjoy it, who knows. Anyways, I'm tired. Point is, with great power comes great responsibility. So, if absolute power corrupts absolutely, absolute power requires great responsibility that has to be absolutely great responsibility. And the responsibility has to be absolute in order to balance the whole yin-yang thing there. So basically, you're trying to say, and what I'm saying, that the lesson is you just don't fuck around too much. You got to be careful when you're fucking around with that stuff, kind of deal, is what you're saying there. I get that. I'm thankful. I'm also thinking now, Captain Kirk, with the Klingon in the cliff of the abyss, I have had enough of you. I'm also thinking that I tried to tell someone that lesson that you're trying to tell me here a bit with the stare too long at the abyss and the abyss will stare back. And I had someone who was a nasty person. Nasty, snide, vindictive kind of person, but they tried to say that to me in a nasty way. But they didn't learn the lesson that I'd learned and I'd tried to teach them at one other point in time, which, whatever, so they tried to throw that in my face. And I had already thought of that before, and I've decided that as a military strategy, just as a former soldier or as a military strategy game player or whatever, that the enemy there is the abyss. And the abyss gave away its weakness, is that it's just as obsessed as Jonah and the whale. It will, if you go to the abyss, if you stare too long at the abyss will stare back. So go to the edge of the cliff and stare for the abyss, but wait with a knife behind your back. And when the abyss comes to stare back at you, you cut its fucking eyes out and send it back into the pit that it came from. And you tell it the evil and the dark side to go fuck itself. Because Dr. Jekyll controls Mr. Hyde. And the good wolf and the bad wolf inside me, I feed them both. Or I starve both of them. Or the good angel and the bad angel. Or the one time I saw a guy, and it was a weird thing, because I like the Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. I'm starting to get fired up and wake up now. I like the Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva concept of the generation, operation, ordination, and destruction. Generation, ordination, and destruction. Creation, maintenance, and destruction. It's the thing of the universe. You can't just have the black and the white. There's also that line in between, and the two little dots and the yin and yang thing, right? Anyways, the kind of point there, I'm thinking of something else here. It's the yin yang threw me off, thinking about spirals and sine waves. Anyway, so the good angel and the bad angel. So he had some tattoos, and he had Brahma tattooed on one arm, and he had Vishnu tattooed on the other arm. And I said, "Where's Shiva?" And he said, "I'm Shiva." And I thought that was so kind of profoundly cool, because it's basically Brahma is good and creation and generation, and Shiva is death and evil and the destruction and the devil kind of thing. So the good angel and the bad angel, and he was the maintainer to control the balance between the good and the darkness, the light and the dark. And I thought that was pretty good. So I understand what you're saying, but I also take these things and I analyzed it, and I tried to look at it from the perspective that the abyss is something that wants to hurt me or hurt other people, and so then it's got some predictable pattern, like we all do. So I'll try to change my pattern. I read Sun Tzu's Art of War and had some other information from other martial arts sources, or listened to the masters. And a wise general travels by a circuitous route. Or Little Red Riding Hood shouldn't take the same path every day in the forest, so then the big bad wolf can profile her, stalk her, find out, wait for her, because here she comes, it's 4 o'clock or something, and she'll come this way, down the path this way. You can anticipate. No, change the route, Little Red Riding Hood. Where is she today? I thought she'd be coming here. Oops, she messed over the big bad wolf. That there's things there too. So thank you for all of that. I guess, what else? So I've done a lot of studying. There's other, let me see here, what else are you saying? Levette warned in the video a while back regarding gurus online go out spouting the truth without providing an exchange of beliefs. As beliefs. Bell, Eve is one I heard before from some other person I did some research with or something. Beliefs of the person. Monkey needs another secure branch, or the hope of one before making the jump. That's awesome. Thank you. That's kind of really nicely said and profound. And it's and true, of course. Take beliefs away from the man and you'll see the depths of despair. Yeah, don't worry about that. I've been stripped and rebuilt and stripped and rebuilt. So I've taken away all my beliefs, and I considered a theoretical thought experiment proposal that I pretend that I all of a sudden wake up right now and wow, I have amnesia. Like in one of those TV shows, I bumped my head and I totally forgot everything except I know how to write, Somehow I know something about some scientific method. I know that I can go look stuff up to try and figure out stuff. I got some puzzle because I don't know who I am. I can't remember my name. I don't know how old I am, what my birthday is. I know apparently I speak English. I can understand English and I can comprehend other people speaking English to me. And I can create thoughts and ideas and figure things out. So start from scratch. Let's rebuild, like if you want to make an apple pie, Carl Sagan said, and that's where I got part of this lesson from, is you start from scratch. And what does scratch mean? Scratch means going back to when you were a caveman and go outside, shut everything off, gone. Now, warm up. Where are you going to get some fire? What time is it? What's going on? When is the winter coming? How do we know these things? You know what I'm still pissed off about now? What berries did the Neanderthal women pick? And the men hunting food and different things. How do you cure meat? How do you make all kinds of stuff? How do I get metals from rocks? So now we're going to get into, I guess, a different area of things. So, how do you put a stake in the ground to tell the time? Or to figure out the curvature of the earth so you can shut up some people if they're right or wrong, who knows? You got to figure it out for yourself, and that's the whole point that some people are doing stuff like that, is because they're talking with the incredible thesaurus in my mind, I'm looking for words, with incredible intricacy, some kind of bullshit baffles brain story about, how the earth is flat. And then the people that they're telling it to, whether or not they're right about the earth being flat or not, I know that the audience they're talking to doesn't know how to prove that it's round or flat. That's the point. I think that if there's a group of people that are doing that, they are smart enough to know how to prove it, and they're playing with the dumb people of the world. It's cruel, but that's what they're doing, I think, in some sense, because they know that the audience, I know the earth is round. I did that before the flat earthers even existed one time. I don't drink, but I went to a bar to do an experiment. I met some guy who escaped from he lived on a Mennonite farm or something, and he gave up that life and he went to the outside world, and he went to a bar and he had his first drink of alcohol, and he didn't feel like he was going to hell, and he wanted to talk to girls. And so he was at the bar all the time, this one bar, because of the girl bartenders were talking to him, and he was an innocent virgin guy or something, and the girls thought he was cute and funny and innocent, and it was nice to talk to a guy that they didn't feel threatened from, and they knew that they had all this immense power over him because he just was in love with them in a sense, because he'd never been able to talk to girls. It was a sin. And then he got this thing where there's nothing wrong with it if I just go have a couple drinks and talk to some women. And I don't have to he wanted to evolve out of this thing or go see what was outside in the world. And he knew that he was strong enough to stay trying to be a good guy. And one time he was drunk and I was having a conversation with him about being able to prove things or something like that. I don't know. And I said about the earth being round, and he was like, I know it's round. And I'm like, yeah, but how do you know? You can't. If it was like gods and a devil, or even in a court of law, you technically can't go to a court of law and testify that you know that the earth is round or an oblate spheroid. That's legal hearsay because you heard it from someone else. You don't have first-hand knowledge. You can't demonstrate and repeat the experiment and prove it to yourself or anyone else. So somebody could grab you by the balls if they had some kind of, the devil came out of somewhere and like, haha, you got 5 minutes to prove the earth is round or I get your soul. And then you're screwed, because how are you going to do it? Or you get accused you're full of crap because you can't prove anything. So you got to go back and learn how Aristophanes put a stake in the ground and measured the shadow and calculated the Sumerian, Egyptian algebra, whatever, all that stuff. Because there were some smart people in the past. And some of that knowledge, I think, has been stolen. So yeah, all that stuff. So again, going back to the scratch, and so that's where I came up with the idea, I guess, for my supposed project that I've been trying to put together for years. But once I came to a point of figuring some of this stuff out, my life started going all over the place with not me doing it. And like when the first thing messes up, or the second thing happens, or the third thing happens, okay, you know what? Hey there, karma, or like odds of anything happening. Like, we're past the odds in Vegas now. Like, there's no way. I should be able to find. I started making up jokes about there's no such thing. If I wanted to find Anne Frank's closet, I wouldn't be able to find it. To do the research that I do or anything like that, if I wanted to hide, if I wanted to get rid of all my devices, or still, wherever I am on planet Earth, this isn't. I don't feel as I could be as safe as Anne Frank hiding in that closet, being able to write her diary without some Nazi peeking through like ceiling cat and watching her. That's my life for real. And so I wanted to, because it returned to the base, but I got that idea and I started uncovering all these things. And like, there's a chance right now, because I'm at a place where somebody keeps sneaking around and hiding somewhere, and they can listen to what I'm doing. I bought a bug detector, a camera detector. I got my devices. With one device I shut off on the Wi-Fi, the airplane mode, the Bluetooth is off, or airplane mode's on, and I face a different direction. And then I played stupid for 2 months, and I could hear someone talking about what, and then I'd be sitting one way in the room, and I'd be doing something, and somebody be talking about what's on my screen, or they'd be humming and hawing, or oohing and maybe a giggle. So somebody was listening, or they could see what I was doing. So then I had to figure out, because I've already had experiences. Were they listening, or could they see and hear? I don't know. So I'd sit one way with my iPad in the chair and face one wall, and I'd be looking at something, and they'd know. They'd talk or say something. I'd play stupid. I'd get up, go get a drink, come back, sit down. You know what? I feel like sitting the other way or something. I say to my dog, I don't know. Or just whatever. And I turn a different direction, and I face the other wall, and I hear them again. So it doesn't matter what direction I go. They see. So then I'm thinking it's on the device. They can see on the device. Maybe whatever. I cover the camera. I get different reactions from these people. Then I talk openly right now, like I have been for like a month or two, about I yell at them. There's no one else supposed to be here. There's like 10 rooms or something, and there's nobody here. Everybody's asleep in the world or something, and I'm far from like normal civilization or something, so I can kind of talk loud, and nobody should be able to hear me. Maybe somebody's sneaking by and standing outside the window at the motel or something, but like, no, but there's 24 hours a day. I got confirmation from the relative of the motel owner that there was somebody that was paying to check into the room above me, and there was some people that were sneaking around when I first got here in the room beside me, and then there was another guy that checked into a room and stayed for months, and just him and talking. Then I look up something weird on the internet, and the girl come out on the balcony yelling to somebody across the parking lot. He's looking up a black girl in a bikini, and then whatever. Because it does. I'm in a place where they don't see a lot of black people, so I know that things will freak them out and get them to talk. That's what I want. I say outrageous things, or try to say really funny things, or kind of offensive things sometimes, because nobody should hear it. But when I hear someone, or oh my God, did you hear that, or things like that, like, then I know they're there. And so, but I pretend I don't hear them. Although competent appear incompetent. But now we've crossed that line, so I've been letting them know, hey. And then I try to, hey, today I was saying, how do you people know that I didn't get some kind of, that know that you've been watching and listening, and I acquired some kind of way to communicate with someone, or get some kind of technology where I got like a little sticker that I stuck on the tree over there, but it's actually a camera sending something to another signal that you don't know. I don't know. I try to tell them something or whatever, and or I put some text in bold and I put it as this picture. And they got shifts. They can't be here 24 hours a day, so they got shifts. There's a guy one time, there's a girl another time. The motel guy told me they're not cops, so who knows? Maybe they are, maybe who knows? Agents, something, who knows? Whatever, criminals, whatever. But they've heard a lot tonight. Tell you, if they didn't know any of the stuff that they're hearing from me, I made a 3-hour recording before this, an audio recording. And so that should, if I put that up, that's got a lot of information about all kinds of stuff, and about that the crocodile fat stuff I was talking about, and the word key and the word cage and other things. Anyways, we're inside God's Maya. That's at the very end of your message. Don't worry too much. I didn't read like the last line there. I read almost all of it, and then I kind of skimmed over that. But yeah, I saw what it said something. But yeah, inside God's mind. Someone was like talking. I remember now. I'm remembering something from years and years ago. Somebody talking about people, or people always searching for God in their life or things, and I'm like, you know what? You're standing inside of God. If there is one, or if the universe is God, you're inside of it. You're standing like wherever you are. That's the I am. I am the I am, and you are the I am, and I am the I, viewing myself subjectively through you, and you are viewing yourself through me. You are the I to you, and I am the am to you, and I am the I to me, and you are the am to me. But we are all part of the great I am, in the sense that even if you take away any spiritual, religious, or anything else, there's electricity powering your primate Homo sapien flesh. And it all comes from the same source of energy. And energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It merely transfers form. So yeah, I kind of think I know a little bit about what you're talking about in some sense. But I'm still grateful because you've triggered and brought back some of these ideas and give me that warning to think about that. Because, you can get a little... that's the whole point too. See, these are other things where I know what you're talking about, because at the same time, you gotta be careful, I know. So in the martial arts too, like there's the dragon and the tiger. And the dragon is the arrogant young bull that wants to run down the hill and go get a couple girls. And the dragon is the old bull that says, oh, no, they're a young little whippersnapper. We walk down and take them all. And that's not a sexist or whatever joke. It's just the nature of the moral of the story. Okay? If there's probably maybe a better way to tell the story or something like that too, but let's figure that out then or something. So, or I'll go look one up and find another nice polite way of saying it. But in the martial arts too, the dragon is the fist, the right hand fist, and the left hand, the tiger is the right hand fist. And if you want to do it the other way, all the more to you. If you're left-handed, do what you want, whatever. So tiger is the right-handed fist, and the dragon is the left-handed palm. And I've learned that you don't just put the fist into the left palm, but you cover the fingers over top. The point is, dragon must cover tiger, not dragon just touching tiger with your fingers up in the air. It's important to fold your fingers for the reason that it reminds you to cover that arrogant little tiger with old dragon wisdom and restraint. And to make sure that whenever your tiger gets a little out of control, that you bring in the dragon to knock it down a peg, or tell it to sit down for a minute and shut the fuck up and relax, take it easy for a bit, come back at it again, whatever. Hey there, tiger, go get a snack, come back and hit it hard. And so now I'm thinking about the way I said something, kind of cancel that out and put some positive into you. Break a leg is to cancel the equal and opposite reaction, and to get the universe to bring superstitiously in the Hollywood, or the Broadway, on the stage. Someone goes on the stage, break a leg, because saying good luck, somebody broke a leg, and then somebody decided to be a superstitious and say, don't say good luck, you SOB. Tell me to break a leg. Then I'll go out and I won't break one, because the universe will give me good energy. But if you go tell me to do good and good luck, then the universe is going to kick me in the balls and break my leg. So that's the idea behind that. Superstition, not superstition, but let's do it anyway, just as a superstition or something. Whatever. You get it? I'm pretty sure you do. I tried to stay away from, when I'm looking at these names again, can't stand Blavatsky. I like to read the stuff and study the stuff, but I know just nasty. And if they know the stuff that I know, like, what do you, wow, this is 39 minutes long. Like, what do you don't know maybe about these things, like the word, and then I don't mean to offend you, or don't mean to stir stuff up or flip things up or get y'all freaked out or something, but the word Satan to me means pi. 3.1415 are the letters in a code that I've learned on my playlist called Isisian codes. Now I'm thinking about how return to the primate thing. So I was thinking of making a book, like I remember Star Trek Next Generation, Captain Picard crashes on the planet, I think, with Wesley in a shuttlecraft, and he's out there figuring out how to get water and how to get some things and how to do. He's got survival skills, like military survival skills, because he's not just too smart for the world and you shut it all off. Doesn't matter if you shut it all off. The guy can still figure out how to make I don't know, a cannon like Kirk, or I don't know, I'm thinking a couple other references in movies and shows, or the old Battlestar Galactica Starbuck rehashing the ship and putting the Cylon to work on a pedal generator. And now I got generator powered things because of that, and I always wanted like wind up flashlight or stuff because I remember that as a kid. Whatever. So somebody tell me, oh, some place in the world they heard on the news and the power went out, and I'm like, yeah, wouldn't bother me. Oh yeah, smarty pants? No, because I'm not trying to be a smarty pants, but I bought like 2 flashlights. Oh, I freaked out one time I saw the show House. I watched it on Amazon Prime when I was doing that for a short time. But I watched the series House, and the one episode, House throws away his friend's flashlight, and he pulls out a second one, and I was like, buddy, that's so me right there in a sense, because I got 2 of everything pretty much in case one breaks or somebody throws away the one or whatever it is. Anyway, so I got 2 wind-up flashlights. I got another wind-up little camping lamp, and I got another thing that can wind up and create power, and I got a solar-powered generator. So like, I got water filters or something. I just need 2 years of freeze-dried food, and like the world, as long as I'm in a radiation-free zone without any like other crazy crap, then the world, I want to return, be in the world and not of it. The guy said. And also reinitialize those forgotten and lost and stolen skills beaten out of us in 350 years of Inquisition and raided from us from other cultures to come and take whatever. And plus, apparently, somebody tells me I'm Irish. I'm the Homo sapien on planet Earth, but somebody tells me I got some Irish blood, and there was some kind of history about somebody came along and stole all our potatoes. And so it's good to know how to get more potatoes, so that you don't rely on the guy that stole all your potatoes and tries to sell them back to you. And so I respect the lost knowledge of a Neanderthal woman picking berries and knowing what to eat and how to survive. And the Chakotay speech from distant origins, we crawled up and learned. And there should be some respect for the unknown cavemen and women, I guess. And so, whatever, all I'm saying is I made some idea I call it, I guess, Project Primate, or I took the word primate, did some military word thing, acronym, or, I just messed myself by thinking of something else. Anyways, it's not technically an acronym, is it? Anyways, the Primate's Remedially Intricate Manual of Ape Training and Education. And those letters, at the first of each of those words, spells primate. And that's what I was trying to make. It's like that show, the Greatest American Hero, and he lost the instruction manual. I'm trying to reverse engineer the instruction manual that was lost or stolen from mankind. Here's how to rub sticks together. Here's how to defeat the flat earthers by learning how to calculate the curvature of the earth using a stick. And here's how to get water. Here's how to purify your water. Here's how to desalinate water. Here's how to get food. Or here's what happens if you need to survive. Kind of a whole bunch of stuff. And not just mine, like the SAS manual, just be chapter 1.5 or something. The first chapter would be primate. The second, here's your primate, your physiology, your strength and weaknesses in your body, how to do some basic medicine or first aid and stuff. Then the second one, homeworld. Here's your planet. Here's some plants. Here's how to figure out this. Here's how to do that. Here's all a combination of stuff. And then other parts. Here's all this religious knowledge, which was really from that goof, Manly, no offense to him, whatever, but whatever. Manly, piss off. He was a freak. He was a liar. He's talking in some twisted allegory. And what he's talking about when I was 12 years old was they're talking about astronomy and allegory. So screw this, close the book, and go learn astronomy. Instead of listening to some guy talk about it, because in the end, you don't have any knowledge of how long it takes for the planet to orbit, or what the meaning of any occult symbols between this and that, or you can't figure out any coding. You can't use the Isisian code because he's not telling you, or he doesn't know himself to know that Satan means pi, or 3.1415, and that Lucifer is LU cipher, and that L is a fallen angle, so you turn it back up and straighten it out and put it back to its godly form of 7, the holy number, and U is a 22. Actually, it's a 21, but the Romans didn't have a 22, and if you research this Isisian code, you'll learn that U has a value of 21 or 22, and V has a value of 22. And so, it also has a value of 4. But that's another thing, apparently. And so, anyways, the U is 22. The Egyptians divided 7 into 22 to get an equivalent of pi, or one close version of pi, as close as they could kind of get by doing 7 into 22. And a cipher is a code. So Lucifer means pi code. The word Illuminatus, with a US at the end. I, L, L, M, and I are Roman numerals for 1. 50 and 50 is 100. 1, 100, 1001. I, L, L, M, I, which is binary code for pi. 3.14159 ad infinitum 265 blah blah blah. And so then you have left over the letter U and the word natus, Natus. And if you take the two U's and by division cancel them out to make a 1, which is the first letter of the alphabet, which is an A, and you replace the U and NAT space S with an A, you get natas, Natas. You flip it around backwards and you got Satan, which is again pi. So the word Lucifer means pi code. The word Satan means pi, and the word Illuminatus means pi and pi. And so also 1, 100, 1001 is apparently binary code for access denied, for computer error 404 access denied. I think, not sure, pretty sure, but I don't have, doesn't tie into anything else. I just thought that was an interesting little tidbit, if that was valid there. Wow. So all of this and more, I'm trying to siphon, put together all these pieces, figure it out, and present it in a whatever semi less of a barbarian manner. So I gotta be like Tarzan and Jane Goodall and go live with the apes to learn how the apes survive, because my species has forgotten. Every species on this planet knows how to survive in its natural environment except mine. And if you shut everything off, they're finished in like 2 weeks, tops, without whatever, because their shoes will fall apart in 3 months. Their threading will come apart on their clothes. They'll be naked in 6 months, and to be outside, and they won't know how things work. I think it seems to run on some form of electricity. Yeah, and so and then again, like I got different beliefs, and so now I'm wondering about. I think about castrated, domesticated primates. Then I think about like I saw a movie years ago, I saw Howard the Duck. Anyways, they had a news channel, the Duck News Network, and there's the duck sitting there with like a 3-piece suit on, reading the news. And I'm thinking, the duck forgot how to get food. It's living in a civilization. The Planet of the Apes I watched too when I was younger, and I remember the apes had a civilization. They didn't have stores. Maybe they had stores or trading and markets, but they grew their own food. They took care of themselves. They were in one with nature, sort of, right? And they were evolving. So that knowledge has been taken from us, or lost somehow. I say taken. Excuse me, I needed a drink of coffee there. Looks like I woke up a bit. But imagine trying to type this in to get across this point. My message would be longer than yours. My final advice. Anyways, summarize things off. I infer in the post on someone's channel you mentioned here. I'm not saying the name, but I'm not sure who you mean by this channel. There's 2 people that I'm thinking of, but I'm not sure. The person's channel we were talking about. Concerned as well that he might be on a downward spiral, but since he has a pretty big and devout audience, he's not going down alone, for he's bringing many blind followers with him. Yeah, for misery loves company. Thank you. I like whatever you want to think or say, or in regards to myself or something. You know what? Thank you. You, yourself, we're the same, right? different aspects of the same light. But you're saying a lot. You got a lot of the same things here. The only thing you're missing is the Spider-Man quote. You probably already know that. You just maybe thought you didn't want to sound silly or something. But no, it's legitimate moral of the story advice. Like, don't care about the Brothers Grimm stories and maybe whatever. The moral of the story is important. That's the whole deal, right? And so, what else was I thinking? The great power comes great responsibility. There's all those little sayings. Do it or not, there is no try. Whatever. But I was trying to think there was a second one to do with. Oh, yeah. There's something like I said, I was a fan of Spider-Man, and I read the comics when I was younger. And there was one that was really profound for me, and it goes back to your original little statement there. You made a few, but the first one basically was don't stare too long in the abyss, because the abyss stares back. So the abyss is predictable, just like any enemy at some point can be, or any other being or demon or whatever. They are just, especially if you're honest. You know, that's one. Here's one from Mr. Spock, because Vulcans don't lie, and he was on a mission once, and he got caught by like the Romulan lady or something, and she was like, I don't understand, Vulcans can't lie. And he was like, illogical, perfectly logical, because I'm not lying. I am merely conforming to the parameters of my mission. And I was like, oh, you nasty little guy there. Wow, man. That's how you get the evil. It's because it's profiling me. It's trying to analyze me. It's trying to study me. It's trying to predict me. And so I'm an honest person. And it took me a long time, because I'm an honest person, to realize that I could use that against someone that's corrupt, evil, bad, criminal. Because they count on the wise general travels by circuitous route, so they know I'm going to go the same route because I'm honest. And that is like the weakness that the Lex Luthor tries to get on Superman and stuff like that. So, yeah. So the other thing was the Spider-Man one comic book series, Kraven the Hunter. And Kraven the Hunter, nobody could defeat Spider-Man. Nobody. Didn't matter. And all of a sudden, Kraven the Hunter comes along, boom, Spider-Man's grave. The guy locked himself in a room, and he poured spiders all over himself, and he went insane, and he embraced the madness, and he decided to, and I remember this for decades. Spider, spider, burning bright in the forest of the night, what immortal hand or eye could frame thy fearful symmetry? To defeat the spider, become the spider. But know that you're not the spider. Unit, return to base. Once you got to put on the black hood and do the job, take the hood off and put it in the box and lock the box. And then go and meditate for a little while and return to center and just breathe, drink some water, and try to be in harmony with the rest of the world and the universe. The universal, the one phrase of L, universe L. Anyways, I don't know. There's other things. That's just, I thought, with Kraven the Hunter. He analyzed and studied Spider-Man and tried to become Spider-Man in order to defeat Spider-Man. So, become the spider to defeat the spider. But you don't have to stay the spider. You only put on the spider persona so that you can defeat the spider. But it's not who you are. Set the base for who you are and tie that down, and then let the kite float in the wind. Because as long as that rope ain't going to break and the kite ain't going to get ripped to shreds in the wind and it's securely fastened, just enjoy the ride and reel it in when you're done. I just know. I just made that up as a way to try and explain what I'm talking about. And then again, you go down here with the Sanskrit, vidya being Sanskrit for knowledge. Vidya, or with video games. Wow, that's just smacked me in the face with a glass of cold water. That's now I'm interpreting the whole situation. So and so got his hands on too much knowledge. Know the ledge. Yeah. I know that one anyways. Yeah, that's right. Oh, wow. See, you got this in you. But thank you. You tried sharing it online since as we all did at some point. Oh, yeah. I remember when I was a young idealistic whippersnapper. Hey, everybody, have you heard that Satan's pie? It's no point, really. You got to put the ship in a bottle. They kill the messenger. You got to put the fucking note in a bottle and throw it into the sea. That was my idea with my project. I'm not trying to talk about it. I'm not trying to do whatever. I'm not trying to. And then, like I told you, we're talking and I'm making a video. And if I get a chance to load this video, maybe I'll take a nap, load it while I sleep, and or something if I can do that or whatever. Anyways, because it's 56 minutes long now. And I'm tired and my mind's going all places, or whatever. It's a refuge on Vine, try to wake people up. Oh yeah, because I was going around, hey everybody, did you know Satan's pie? No, they spit in your face. What are you talking about? What do you mean by that? Are you serious? Oh, all kind, everything. 50 reactions. Different, whatever. And so I just stopped because, like, it's nice, it's important. It's like it would change the world if, like, people realize if there is no guy named Satan, or if maybe somebody's transferring information every time they talk about Satan, and maybe they're talking about pie. Maybe I read Anton LaVey's satanic Bible, and the guy was either full of crap and stole the "Thou shalt not walk on all fours" from H.G. Wells' Island of Dr. Moreau, or H.G. Wells knew about this stuff, so maybe they were in some group together. But that wasn't the satanic Bible, because Bible means Biblios Heliotek, or Bib-El, which is the gate of El, or book of El, or Bible is in the two bulls. And so, Satan means pie. So either the guy was an idiot, and he was just a corrupt guy trying to start a fad Satan cult, or he knows that Satan was pie, and he was just psyching or freaking or bullshitting his followers and making money, or doing something, or having like an orgy at the Satan temple, or the compound, or whatever, the grotto, whatever they got set up, the hot tub, whatever. But didn't care that his followers didn't know that Satan was pie and he could do like hyperdimensional mathematics. Or maybe he just didn't know and he was just doing a scam and making sure that they spent their life making money, enjoying their primate selves, getting some good matrix steak, and like totally keeping everybody misled for the great and powerful Wizard of Oz. Apparently the Emerald City is just a normal city, and it's not really an Emerald City. They're wearing emerald-colored glasses. Like those rose-colored glasses, I guess. You take off the glasses, and it just looks like a shithole. You pull back the curtain, and it's just an old perverted guy pulling off the same scam that's been done since another primate tried to rip another primate off for a banana. And if you wanted to be a real good psyops troll, you'd tell me that apes don't eat bananas in their natural environment. Oh, I learned to nitpick with the trolls too. I say round earth just to get the troll that comes out of the woodwork going, excuse me, it's actually an oblate spheroid. Yeah, gotcha. I do things like that sometimes. Well, anyways, again, I don't need to do that anymore. People tell you don't feed the trolls. Oh, no. They didn't understand. I wasn't worried about getting bit or falling off the edge in the abyss or something. I was purposely feeding the trolls, stuffing them full, choking them, because they gave me all their tactics. Yeah. And still, what's that do? Unless the world doesn't blow up, then maybe we've accomplished something. Other than that, I don't know. the Vision versus Ultron. Yeah, Ultron's right, but you know the Rose thing or whatever Vision there. You know, doesn't need you don't need to be an asshole there, Ultron. Apparently, it takes less muscles to smile than it does to frown. So lighten up, you evil fuck. And that's not a. And you know that wasn't. And if I was doing that, Ultron there, I don't care. Superpower robot. Well, if I got the power of vision, hey, I'm giving you a chance, buddy. Why don't we be friends and play nice in the sandbox? And then the Ultron, it's in my nature of the scorpion to sting the frog. And boom, here, have a little beam of light. Bye bye. So yeah. But anyways, yeah. So again, this is disturbing right now for me because I started being all, yeah, man, hey, there, go get the bad guy. Nope, that's some tiger talking. Cover that up with some dragon. Humble myself and just remember whatever. So yeah, and that's awesome. Thank you very much for talking to me. So sorry about the 1 hour long video or whatever, but thank you though, and especially for the video games thing with Vidya. Oh wow! And then later on, the video and anime and music. They put many puzzle pieces together, but since they are doing it on fear-based frequency, they mess up and attach it to their own projected fear, despair-based perception. Something similar happened to Name. I don't like. In my opinion, as far as I know, it doesn't encourage people to do stupid stuff, but indeed consumed by the black pill. Thank you. Since they are geniuses and they put many pieces of the puzzle together. Yeah, but you know what? You see, this is where I mentioned in my comment that I have, whether it was by, I don't know, I was thinking of some, was it the Ghostbusters guy? Is it luck? Is it fate? I wasn't doing that. I just thought of that. I went to try and remember my own words. And I thought, wow, it's like Bill Murray from Ghostbusters, isn't it? It was like luck or chance or fate or something, or it was like maybe some kind of electrical force of evolution or light or something was trying to find any human that was receptive to the information, and it was just by chance that it was me. I don't know, or who knows, but I have that thing that I said with Satan is pie, and that's one of those golden fleece puzzle pieces that I have. So that's where, when I understand what you're saying completely, but also I can't communicate. And then like you said, what's the point? We all try at some point. You can't do it right now. So I can't do it in pieces because I got to put the whole project together. I've made up other things like you can't see the forest for the trees, and my project is I've seen the forest, and now I got to label all the freaking trees and then hand you the picture of the trees. You'll see the forest, and I'll go, look closer. And then you'll look and, oh wow, the whole thing now. Yeah. And it takes time, but someone's been trying to slow me down. And so I made a smart ass joke because somebody was bugging me last year, and they're like, "Oh yeah, what's your book on?" And I'm like, "Yeah, how to try to, like, you know, how to prevent the end of the world." And they were being a bunch of assholes, and I was being an asshole. So they were like, "Oh yeah, what's your book on?" There's a couple of people, and I was like, "How to prevent the end of the world." But thanks to meeting assholes like you, I'm gonna finish it 2 days after the world ends. So you know, a lot of good that'll do us all. So you know, whatever. I'm gonna still keep trying to do something, or at least I feel comfortable, even if it's just an entertainment fictional story that I want to write or create, or who knows. But I'm actually trying to do it now. I've been trying to do it for a long time, but I was using my computers or devices. Now I'm trying to get it all off the device. Print, write, and get it off. So because I got, like, one thing, I got an app with like 35 at least giant mind maps. If I printed each one off, they'd be a poster on the wall, and so I can't see them all. I can only see one at a time, and I gotta scroll through and move it around. But if I print the thing off like a poster, and if I just get a bunch of pieces of paper, I actually printing out 35 giant mind map pieces, like 2.5 feet or whatever. What is it? 8.5 by 14 legal size paper, and so 22 inches by 17 inches pieces of paper. I taped 4 together, I think, there. And then I got like 35 sheets of those I'm trying to make mind maps on. I got a video on my channel, I think, that shows some of that. But I mailed that copy somewhere, and then I travel halfway across the continent. And then I put it in the time I haven't been able to get the original copy that I mailed, so I've had to redo it again from scratch for like the second or third time in my life, and the research keeps all getting destroyed or something. So now I got some other setup where I got a waterproof camping setup thing with a garden cart with flat free tires, and I can load it all in there and drag it for all I care. And I got my bike or whatever, and even the bike, the cart can hold 1,000 pounds, so if the bike fails or does something that I don't like, I can put the bike on the cart too and drag it. Oh, just need the fairy godmother to turn my chihuahua into a steed, and I can pull the wagon. But okay, anyways. Yeah, that's a lot, I suppose, and I hope. And so that, yeah, they don't have those puzzle pieces that, and it's not my fault, and I'm not arrogant about it, and I'm not trying to hide it, and I'm not trying to keep them only to myself, which in some ways I can. It's not my original research there. That came from a guy, Dennis Fetcho. But the thing too is if you go to my primate video, and I have a thing called PTSD, PsyOps Treasury of Stock Documents, and it's a link for Dropbox where there is a file, a zip file, something Isisian codes, and there's 6 books, PDFs on this language code for the Isisian codes, all in there, but they were put together by someone else who put together individual articles. And then I took those individual articles from a person named Iceni Rising at one time. She was studying Dennis Fetcho, or I don't know, she is Iceni, but anyways, the channel is Iceni Rising. She was studying Dennis Fetcho, and I was studying Dennis Fetcho. She found a blog site where he put different articles up. She compiled all the articles into another form of articles, and then I compiled those articles into books, or PDFs, and they turned out to be 6 books that I've made, well, like, I don't know, 50 to 200 pages maybe, some of them each. 50 pages one, 200 pages another, 100 pages another, but there's 6 PDFs I made, and they're on this language code, and there's only like 2 videos in my Isisian code playlist from the guy, and he's got some videos on his. It's really difficult to try and discover and piece together and decipher this language code, because there's not a lot of information on it. But the guy has respect. And I watched some clowns a couple years ago, or not a couple, more than a couple, bunch of years ago on YouTube. They came from, I did some research, and somehow I found out that they both came from opposite ends of the continent. They met in the middle. They trained and studied for a few months. Then they went back to the opposite sides of the continent, and each of them came out with websites, books published, ready to go, videos done. Hey, I'm just a guy doing research, and then they come out with the version of stuff that's all twisted and perverted, and it's not the real code, the Isisian code and the Pi code. And the guy was changed. He had a real name, which was something different, like his name might have been John Smith in real life, but his online persona was like, Pi Guy. And it wasn't Pi Guy, but it was, I don't want to say his name or whatever, but his name was something completely different. And then in one of his videos, he tried to tell his viewers that he was chosen by God to share the information because his name meant Pi Guy. And then I found out that it wasn't his real name, because I found out his real name and where he came from and who he really was. And like, there's a crap load of fraudsters. And he was one of those people that teamed up with some other guy that took some of my info, which was the generative, ordinative, destructive forces of nature, which was Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. And he tried to take some of that and to talk about it. And that's where I threw in, because I used the word ordination. He used the word operation. And then he did some other things that he changed around. And I'm like, where'd you get that info from? Oh, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, because I got it from somewhere. That's like if some guy showed up on the internet talking about the Isisian code and Satan is Pi. No. And see, okay, one last thing, I hope. Anyways, the other guy came out and he gave a perverted version. If you've seen the movie Prestige, and the movie Prestige, The Prestige, Michael Caine, Hugh Jackman, Christian Bale, David Bowie, or Bowie, depending on how you pronounce it or where you're from in the world or something like that. So David Bowie played Nikola Tesla. And the moral of the story there, or the lesson to be learned, is that, oh yeah, even if you like the contract with the devil at the crossroads, who cares whether it's real or not? The moral of the story is that even the devil obeys contract law. The devil himself, Satan, Lucifer, Mephistopheles, Asmodeus, the king of all hells, has to obey contract law. He's lawful evil in Dungeons and Dragons terms. He will give you your soul back if you can trick him back. Loki, they have honor. They got some honor in contract law. They got to do it by the book. They got to trick you. They got to get your consent. They got to do it all legit so that it matches. And it's all in that. But it can be full of crap and it can be dishonest and corrupt. But it's got to be legit. And they have to obey contract law. So if anybody's screwing you around, you want to insult them, tell them, hey, you know what? A demon obeys contract law. What's your malfunction? You're less than a demon? Really? Really? Anyways, what was I saying there? I'm tired. I'm looking around. Wow, my mind just totally just. I'm shutting down, so I got all wound up, and then I'm shutting down. It's a hard shut down. Just gonna crash. So my mind kind of went blank. It's in there. I can feel it and see it in my mind's eye floating around, but it's moving farther and farther back. As whatever, but reading over your comments again. Things here. Wow, totally like blanked right out. That's just embarrassing and doesn't usually happen much. This is the live version. I'm looking up here. What was I looking at? I was looking over here and talking about stuff, getting all passionate. See, if I could, I'd have a recording. I'd stop, rewind. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. And then, you know. Anyways, wow, an hour and. I thought I'd be pushing it at an hour and 8 minutes and just leave it at there, like 108 for a little moon joke or something. But no, it's 1 hour and 12 minutes now. So yeah, oh, the Satanist pie thing. Yeah, so that and some other keys I have. And that's just one, but I got like 4 or 5 of them, like as profound as the Satanist pie thing, whatever that means, and all the other stuff to do with it. But, and I know that the other people that you're talking about, they don't have it. And that's kind of what ticked me off a little, or say I get kind of upset or wonder if the guy's legit or not. Because I've been trying to say, hey, buddy. He's trying to tell me, hey, tell me who is real. I need to know who's real. Put your email in the thing. So I'm like, hey, again, for like the 18th time, that's where I come up with the Gilligan's Island. You see Gilligan's Island? Hey, Skipper, watch your head. Smack. Smacks his head, then turns around going, hey, Gilligan, why didn't you warn me? Oh, you know what? After, like, trying to tell you for the first 16 times that you're going to smack your head, then you smack your head and turn around and talk to me like a piece of shit. You know, go F yourself, Skipper. And so that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to talk to this guy. Hey, pal, who the hell do you think you are? Because I'm trying to share something with you there, hey, magic guru guy. Because you think if you know Satanist pie, then admit it. That's what I'm saying. I got a 10-foot pole attached to a garlic cross, or a 50-foot cross made of garlic, soaked in holy water, attached to a 10-foot pole. And I'm offering it out for free. It's got $1 million in a gold coin stuck on it, and they won't go near it. Satanist pie. Stop talking about Satan, because you're misleading your followers, or you don't know yourself. So I'm trying to share with you, and you're like, whatever, buddy. I'm the king guru here. I'm the new pharaoh in town. I'm one of the hot shots having my sharing the sacred knowledge, and I'm, like you're saying, he's gone over the edge. Didn't really know the ledge. He doesn't know well. Maybe he's one of those people that wants no L, as in N-O space L, as in they don't want L. But I'm saying no L, as in N-K-N-O-W space E-L. Whatever. So I've got, and I'm just person or guy, whatever, trying to figure things out, and I found an extra few puzzle pieces, and he tried to be nice, going, hey, maybe this will help. And now I'm like, you know what? Fuck you. Eventually, I'm going to surpass you probably in the evolutionary scale. And since I have all these extra puzzle pieces, I'm going to be giving them out with a different attitude than yours. And, you know, I'm not in it to be nice, eh? But I think it's kind of weird. It's kind of like if I was to be able to live long enough and the world was not to blow up or whatever, and if I could get this done, eventually, in the end, it's not motivated by money or trying to profit, that's maybe a different thing for us, or why this guy's doing his thing and other people do different things. I'm kind of not motivated by that. And I want to finish my project just because I want to figure this out for some reason, or look these things up, or study this, or shut somebody up in an argument, or win the bet. And like, after I'm done, it might probably make more money than 10 of these fake goofs combined. That'd be nice, but that's not the motivation. And all I need is my bowl and my flute like Kwai Chang Caine, and a water filter, and a motivation to chop wood, carry water, and like whatever. So I'm kind of, you know, as long as I got some coffee or some fresh water and juice and nutrients and whatever, you know, the plans of mice and men. What are you going to do? Where are you going to go? What do you want? And I don't know, maybe there's some other arrogance in there of mine or something, I don't know. But anyways, I'm kind of sort of motivated by things and other things, and not the same things maybe as these other people. And that's what I mean, is I try to be honest and honorable and legitimate, and I try to offer people other puzzle pieces to help them out, or to give them an edge against someone else that might be a nasty evil rival or something, or try to whatever. And like, here's a life jacket or something if you're nope, they keep ignore me or tell me to get lost or shut up Gilligan kind of deal. Well, yeah, you know what, then go. Why, you know, like you're saying, what you bother for? You just stopped. You try to help them, but you know, like I said, they kill. It's just a general thing. It's a program that's programmed into them without whatever. It's just a natural thing. People reject the unknown. They're afraid of it, kind of deal. In a sense, I get that. Plus, like, oh yeah, you want to know before I go? Whoops, that's the carpet. The iPad slid off the table. I moved it. I was thinking of where was I? See, I'm tired, and then all it takes is one little thing like that. My mind's blank. I'm falling asleep. Just in the Planet of the Apes or something for a second, just thinking about a game. All it takes is one little thing. I don't know. Wow, just shut down, fall asleep. Sorry. Whatever. I'm sure you know. Oh yeah, they killed a messenger. It's just a basic programming or something. It's just it's an innate thing. People, they kill the messenger kind of deal. So you try to, and then there's other stories about that. Don't go around trying to preach or something, or try to do that, because like they try to throw stones at you or chase you out of the village, or they think you're working for the devil or something like that. And it's like, wow, man. Because I went to some people, hey, you're being misled. Satan really means pie. I'm not saying there's no maybe they were religious, so I'm not saying there's no concept of the devil or this and that or whatever, trying to ease into him. So keep your idea of Satan, but he has a different name maybe, because somebody's been tricking you with the name Satan. And these people snapped. Like 5 guys snapped, and they were online in a live chat thing, and they were religious, and they all snapped, and one turned on me, and then like the next one turned on me, and then it spread like in the Highlander movie when the woman goes, he's a witch, burn him, and then the mob mentality, it triggered, and they were all like, you're the devil, you're Satan, we should kill you or something, you're lucky you're not here, we'd kill you for God's name. What the frick? What'd that remind me of? Ashra Kwesi in my Kemet playlist. There's one part where he talks about people have been given false information or they've been brainwashed. And you can't tear out the foundations of their beliefs, because you could collapse their reality or their psyche or other things. So you have to reinforce the foundation, the false foundation that they have by slowly giving the information and allowing them to process it and figure it out on their own, because then they have confirmation and first-hand knowledge of the experience, and they get the confidence that they've been able to figure things out, and they get the training and the education that they're putting themselves through, and they're not relying on you as a source. You kickstart them, and they're, in a sense, and you give them some tools, and they go and do it themselves, and they feel much better about themselves, and they accomplish more for themselves, and then you can take away the false foundation, and they will remain stable and whole and better, and they'll be able to go and add to and strengthen their own foundation by themselves. And you didn't have to act like a guru and play, I'm the pharaoh, blah blah blah. Yeah, maybe I don't need to try and be a king like these guys want to try to pretend to be. Because I'm the tiger and the dragon. In the sense that I'm the arrogant guy, like maybe they kind of get, but every once in a while I gotta smack that back into place. So yeah. Yeah. They haven't been very nice. And that's not nice. Well, thank you. And I wish you well. I wish us all well. And you know what? The world's a shit kind of... The world's okay. The world's awesome. The golden palace of beauty and everything that you could ever want is supplied by nature. It's just that some people keep on trying to make the world a piece of shit place to be in. But it's not. Return to source. Somebody's created source errors. Sorcerers are magic users. Conan does not like magic users. Superman's a dumb brute that gets tricked by the evil genius Lex Luthor, but eventually he figures it out. And then Lex Luthor doesn't stand a chance, because now Superman's as smart as you. He figured out your crap, and he's also, Superman. He's gonna probably knock you on. He just flick you with his finger there, Lex. Sherlock and Moriarty. They both ended up over the edge together. So I tried to learn some of those lessons and to heed the warnings that you're offering, and that I've known myself in a way already, and it's helped me, I guess. And then I've had it's maybe luck, I don't know. Walking down the street and hey, what's this? I tripped over a golden fleece. Where'd this come from? Hey, maybe this is important. And then they go, hey, everybody, I found a golden fleece. Ah, fuck you. Okay, fine then. See ya. And then I'm walking out the door, trip. What's this? Another golden fleece. Holy crap. Well, you know what? The way they treated me last time, I'm going to keep this to myself and stock it up and see what I can do with this later on. You know what I learned too? I've been studying a lot of things, or learning a lot of things. Apparently the golden fleece, this is a secret, don't give it away. Apparently just get some, what is it, the wool, the sheep's wool is the fleece. And apparently when you go panning for gold, you get a plate pan, and you stick the pan into the water, and you kind of shake it around, and you get the water to go out slowly in different sand particles, and you let the gold maybe settle into the plate, and you pan for gold. The sheep's fleece, apparently, I say the word apparently a lot. You put the sheep's fleece in the river, and the gold sticks to it. And so that's where the golden fleece came from. The allegory of the story is that you use the fleece in the river, and it's easier than using the pan to collect the gold. And if that's true, that's a pretty awesome piece of knowledge to have. That's one of the ones where I'm not a greedy kind of guy, but that's pretty profound in the world if you know how to get gold and nobody else knows that they can use the golden fleece. And that's some of the hidden knowledge. For instance, like in the words that I mentioned that mean pie. Don't want to invoke their names perhaps. But, and also the golden fleece. There's all kinds of little lessons like that. I didn't tell you the one about the article was removed too. See, that's another thing. I used to try and share some stuff. There was an article on Wikipedia, and I went and told people about it in an exciting way to explain allegory meaning something else. So Sir Isaac Newton wrote a story, apparently, or told a story about something that was called it's called substance, and I think in brackets the net. I don't know what happens. I found something on the Wayback Machine once, or another reference to something. But there used to be an article on Wikipedia. You know what? In my research, I went through my thousands of screenshots and everything, and I found a screenshot that I took of the page. Or even at one time, I used to download Wikipedia, convert it to PDFs. I didn't get a PDF of that because I don't think they did it at the time. But I took a screenshot of the article that used to be there. Because me going around sharing it with somebody, some nasty, corrupt, bad people went and made sure that the article got erased or something for some reason. Because they didn't want that information out there for anyone to go and look at. So somebody goes around and destroys this crap, or burns digital books to try and cover up knowledge, which is nasty, nasty. And I might be the only person on planet Earth with the last screenshot existing of that page that used to exist from the substance brackets, I believe, the net. I'd have to go look it up in my binder. I got 6 binders, all kinds of stuff like that. Anyways, the story, Isaac Newton told a story about a legend of Venus, the goddess of love, and Mars, the god of war, and Vulcan, the god of blacksmithing. And Venus and Vulcan were married, and they were having a nice day, like, Highlander and his wife in their castle, or something, if you saw that show, and I'm referencing to it. McLeod and Heather in their castle. So anyways, Venus is at home, and Vulcan's like, hey dear, I gotta go into town at the market and do some other stuff. I'll be back in a little while. And he takes off, and then he comes home early. Oh, some deal fell through or something happens. He comes home early. He finds Mars, the god of war, having an affair with his wife Venus, with Vulcan's wife. And so, I'm thinking about devil's contractor, tricky people, the semantics of that sentence. They try to tear apart. Tricky. Anyways, never mind. You get it. So, anyways, so the Venus gets caught having an affair with Mars. Vulcan's all pissed off, ties him up in like a net, and hangs him over the fire and beats him. And that's the story. So I'm imagining in the peasants or the plebs back in the day, running around in the streets. Did you hear what Venus did? Small minds discuss people, mediocre minds discuss events, great minds discuss ideas. So they're all running around in the street. Did you hear what Venus did? Was Vulcan, the Howard the Duck News Network, was Vulcan justified in beating Mars and Venus in a net over the fire? Blah, blah, blah. That's what the plebs talk about, right? No offense, whatever. I'm not saying people are plebs, I'm just saying. And in another situation, the people inside the castle, or somebody else at the blacksmithing shop, knows that Venus is copper, the metal copper. It's an allegorical story. I speak in allegory for ears that hear and eyes that see. So the story has nothing to do with any. There's no such thing as Venus and Mars and Vulcan as gods. It's ridiculous. Come on. So Venus is copper. I'm being silly there. I'm not trying to tease you. Venus is copper. Mars is iron. And apparently the act of blacksmithing the two metals together over a fire, because Vulcan is the god of blacksmithing. And so that's that key there, is you blacksmith the metals together, you smelt them together over the fire, and you smith them into a bar of something that has a network pattern on it. So once you hammer the metals together, when you see the network pattern, it's done. I guess that's the formula, locked in the magic, and in the moral of the story. And so, damn, that was reminding me of one other thing I thought I'd make sure for. So yeah, there's that story. Means Venus and Mars are copper. I'm having a deja vu experience right now. I'm gonna go look outside. I was telling the story and I just thought somebody might be around. Okay, I'm getting distracted now because I have to go see somebody about a horse. So, yeah, Venus and Mars, allegory for ears to hear and eyes to see, and the other, damn. Anyways, you know what? I really gotta go now. a sudden urge to use the facilities. These things happen. This is real life. So there's another, I don't know, something else there. But that's a lot. I was going to give you another one right at the end here. Anyways, it was a pleasure reading your message, and a thank you. And it was a bit of a fluke or something in a way, because I had typed a message and responded to someone else about these kind of issues, and I made a bit of a long message there. And then I went back a couple times over the last 24 hours, and I didn't see any other replies or anything like that. And for some reason, something was going on earlier, and I thought I would go take another look. And I went to look, and then I saw your message had been posted there. And so I read that, and instead of just saying, stare into the abyss is predictable, go there with a knife and wait for it to come for you, and then put it back into the abyss once and for all, and then act responsibly with unlimited power. Whatever, I don't know. Unlimited power, act responsibly. So, well, you take care. Thank you for your time, and thank you for sharing what you did with me. It is, I don't know. Thank you. You take care.